there guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well today. I have received the Revolution Wild About Revolution box. I was very kindly gifted this as a Christmas present, and I thought it could be something exciting for us all to check out together. So that is going to be the basis of this video. Let's jump right in. Okay, so it's a lovely box which this comes in, and then it opens like this to show everything which is inside here. So there's 12 different boxes in here filled with loads of different pieces of Revolution makeup. So I'm very excited to get in and see what we've got in here really. So the first thing that we've got is a Rainbow Metallics shadow palette. So it's really pretty. There's loads of different colours going on in there. It's a little bit more adventurous than what I would usually go with for my eyeshadow looks, but there's nothing to say that I can't branch out and experiment a little bit. So yeah, I'm very excited to get into here. Let's have a swatch. I'm going to need some wet wipes. Okay, so I'm going to swatch starting from this side, going across the top line and then across the bottom line. Okay, so here are all of the swatches of this Rainbow Metallics palette. I think that the bottom row is of a lot higher standard than the top row. So for example, this centre one here is just a glitter. It's the one that you can't really see on my arm. It's like just in the middle here. It's just shimmer really. I struggle to see it myself, even like that I can look at it right here. The ones on the bottom row are a lot more pigmented than the ones on the top row, and I just think that the colours are a lot prettier as well. There's a lot more colour payoff, and yeah, I love these bottom colours. So I will be experimenting with these ones here a lot. I'll use the top ones a little as well, but nowhere near as much. Oh man, I'm turning into a rainbow. Right, on to the next one, which is a translucent pressed powder. I'm surprised it's coming in this shape, to be perfectly honest with you. Ah, that makes more sense. So to make it fit in the box, they've put the translucent powder in a cardboard thingy. I mean, doing what it says on the tin there, translucent pressed powder. So you would use this to set your face. Yeah, it comes off white on the finger there, but then obviously it'll just blend in translucent and mattify and set everything into place. We then have an eye primer. Let's take a look in here. So this is the Revolution eye primer, and you get 0.23 ounces in here. So I would say that this is a sample size and not a full-sized product. So just a nice skin coloured formula. So you can see it just on the back of my hand there. And then it just smooths out really nicely. Oh, that actually looks really nice even on the back of my hand actually. Next up we have the eyeliner kit, which is this one here. I think I just said eyeliner, but it actually says eye defining kit. So we have a nice angled flat edge brush there, and then we also have a black eyeliner and a medium brown eyeliner. Next up is one of the wider boxes, which is the Essential Eye Brush Kit, or brush set, however you wish to call it. Okay, so in this one I get another 3 brushes, so these are all eyeshadow brushes. This first one is a very similar one to the one in the box before, so it's just an angled flat edge brush, but it is bigger than the first one. We then have a nice little brush to pack everything on with, so just flat edged like that way, not that way. I'm so bad at explaining, I'm so sorry. And then we've just got your standard eyeshadow fluffy brush, so this will be perfect for blending and maybe getting into your creases. What am I even saying? So I would just use this brush to blend everything out and try and get into the creases there. I like those a lot. We then have an illuminating primer. So this is quite a big squeezy tube. So you get 8.4 fluid ounces in here. I don't even know why I'm talking about ounces when I'd understand more the millilitres, which is 25 millilitres. Okay, so I'm just going to rub this in. It has a bit of a scent, but I can't quite decide what it smells like. That's really strange. I cannot put my finger on what it smells like, but you start rubbing it in and you can kind of get a waft of it. So if you don't like anything that's scented too much, then maybe the Revolution Illuminating Primer isn't the best for you. I mean, it does what it says on the tin. I think there's a nice, I don't know if you guys will be able to see, but I think there's a nice sheen to my skin. It feels slightly tacky, but I think that'll dry over a couple of minutes. I mean, the more that I'm kind of rubbing the back of my hand, the less tacky I think it feels. Box number 7, that is the Illuminating Fixing Spray. There's a lot of illuminating products in this collection. That is obviously your standard setting spray to keep everything in place after you've finished. Let's I don't think you guys can see that on camera, but once I kind of got it going, there was a nice mist coming from it, which I like in a setting spray. I think I mentioned this in a previous video. I have a Pixie setting spray, and instead of doing a nice mist, it's kind of more like a direct shoot towards your face, which is not fun, especially when you've got your eyes closed and you don't know when it's coming. So the Illuminating Fixing Spray from Revolution has a nice misting, which I really enjoy. Happy with that. So number 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is the blush and highlight palette. So there is 8 pans in this palette. Overall, I think this is a lovely palette. I think there's some shades in here which are a bit questionable. So for example, there was this shade here which I thought was rather pinky, and it came out really rather burnt orange actually. And then there's like this shade up here which is kind of a shimmery copper. I think that's a lovely shade, not necessarily for highlight. I'd be more likely to use it as an eyeshadow, but I still really like it. And then again with this very bubblegum pink kind of shade, if you wanted to use that as a blush, you'd have to be very careful with it to not go overboard. I like this palette. I think it's very good for all different skin types and skin tones, but it just means that for everyone there's probably only going to be a couple of shades that you will use for the intended purpose, and then the rest you'll want to use as probably like eyeshadow or something. So this next one is the Bronze and Contour palette. Oh, okay, so again we've got the 4 in 2 lines, so 8 pans in total. First impressions, it's going to be similar to the last one, so they're going to be a couple of shades which you will probably use for its intended purpose. This is probably a very good palette for all skin tones, but obviously because everybody only has one skin tone, you'll probably only use a couple of these. But let's get swatching anyway. Okay, so as predicted, there's some shades in here which I don't think I would ever use. Oh, let's bring that closer. Which I don't think I would ever use in my life, really. So there's one down here. It's not really picking up that well on camera. Oh, that's a little bit better. So that one's really yellow. I don't think I would ever use that in my life. And then this one here is really rather dark. I think for my contour out of this palette I'd use probably this shade here, just because this brown, it could work, but it's a bit of a cooler tone brown. And then this one's slightly warmer tone. I love this shimmery copper shade here, but I don't understand why it's in a contour palette. I would use this shade on my eyes, and similar to this shade here actually, and then right on the end is actually a very, very pale kind of skin colour. The inside of my arms are really pale, so that's why it's not showing up. It is slightly too light for my skin, but not too far off, so yeah. Oh my god, I've been recording for almost 21 minutes. I'm sorry if this is like the longest video ever. But up next is the lip gloss trio. So in here you get a kind of nudie pink, a more bubblegum pink, and then a brown shade as well. Okay, so I'll swatch these on my arm again in the same order. The nudie pink is in shade... Do these not have shades? Okay, I'm going to say these don't have shades. So let's pop the nudier pink on my arm. Oh, these are very reflective and glossy. I like that a lot. So that's the first one there. I like that shade. I'm really digging that shade actually. I think that would get a lot of use out of me. Next up is the more vibrant pink. Okay, so let's swatch. Ooh, okay. So obviously I've been describing this one as the more kind of bubblegummy pink, which still wasn't the right description of the bottle, but it has definitely came out a lot more kind of red and berry toned there. Ooh, I like that one a lot. And then onto the brown shade as well. I don't know how much I'm personally gonna like this one. If I wear a nude lip like today, I don't usually have it as dark as this, if you can tell the difference there. So if this is as dark as it looks in the tube, I probably wouldn't get that much wear out of this, but let's see. Wow, okay. Shh. I'm gonna have to clean this. I'm not going to put that back in the thing because I dropped it on the floor and now there's like hairs all over it. It's disgusting, I know, I'm sorry. Let me sort this mess out. Fabulous. Well, this is going well. Oh, don't tell me I've got that somewhere as well. I'm going to wrap up this lip gloss section very quickly because, I mean, if you can tell, I'm getting it everywhere, so yeah. Those are the three shades there. I don't think personally I would wear the brown. It's a very kind of chocolatey shade of brown, but the first two I like a lot and I think I will get a lot of use out of those. Okay, so last but one is the Matte Neutrals eyeshadow palette. I usually wear more neutral colours on my eyes anyway, so hopefully this palette will be right up my street. So there is a little look at all of the shades there. And they're all matte shades as well, apart from one which I think might be a shimmer. So let's get started on swatching these as well. So I like these a lot. As I said, all of them are matte apart from this second really light shade, which is slightly shimmery. I mean, the colours in these are amazing. This kind of berry purple shade is gorgeous, and this orange shade down here really packs a punch as well as this burnt orange shade here. I think these are really pretty. And I like this palette a lot. I think the only criticism that I have is that it's called the Neutrals palette. Please somebody explain to me how all of these very bright, vibrant and bright, bold colours are neutral. I don't see that, I can't lie, but irrelevant. I like this a lot. I am running out of wipes and we are moving on to the very last palette in this box. I am very excited by this shimmery shade up here, if you guys can see. Looks very, very pretty there. So this is the Revolution Smoke and Shimmer Shadow Palette. Smoke and Shimmer Shadow Palette. Okay, so again, this is a very pretty palette. I don't know about you, but I cannot help myself but look at that sparkly black on the top row. I am kind of shocked by the fact that there's a green shade here. I mean, I guess you could do a green smoke shadow, maybe with like the browns and this kind of sandy shade. Yeah, I'm a little confused by the green, but we're gonna go with it anyway. Let's have a swatch. Okay, so these are all the shades here. I mean, I like all of them. I don't think there's any shades in this palette which I don't like. I was just slightly underwhelmed by the shimmery black. It just looks quite, just this one here, looks quite kind of like a coal black. It's not as jet black as I wanted it to be, and there is nowhere near as much shimmer in that as I expected, just because of how shimmery it looked in the pan. And also, now that I have the green swatched on my arm, I kind of see why it fits into line now. Makes a lot more sense, and it looks like it should be there. It's not sticking out like a sore thumb like I expected it to. And that is the last box in the Revolution Wild About Revolution collection series. I don't even know what I should call it, but yeah. Okay, so that is everything within the Revolution makeup 12 boxes. I don't, what am I calling this? Hamper? Is it a hamper? Collection? We'll go with collection. My opinion is no way, is in no way, shape or form professional. It is generally just my opinion alone. So that is my unboxing, swatching and opinion on this Makeup Revolution box. So that is all from me for today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, then make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and if you want to stick around to see more of my face, I'll have a lot more videos coming in 2020, so make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be aware and notified of when that happens. Thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.